Secret Lady Recap Chapters 1 to 8. Our story begins with the Kartazen Empire, one of the strongest nations that unified the entire continent. Curses ravaged the country, causing death, illness, and famine. The source of misfortune? Sorcery. The neighboring kingdom, the Fishteen Kingdom, sought to dominate the Kartazen Empire in their weakness, but before it was too late, sorcery was prohibited on its land forever. So the Kartazen continued to prosper. Of course, the Kartazen was not without support. The two families that has helped keep the empire as strong as it was the Hazenstu and the Arzens. Our protagonist was born into the mighty Dacho family of the Arzens, Rosentine Arzen. There's only one problem though. She can see ghosts. Rosentine inherited it from her past life. She used to be Seoul from South Korea, where she lived a life full of despair. She was outcasted for her strange abilities, by her family, by society. Despite everything, she fought to live until a truck ran her over. When she opened her eyes, she found herself born as Rosentine Arzen. She got a loving family to which she vowed to protect at all costs. For the longest time, Rosentine pretended that she could not see ghosts. In a way, it protected her family. But it didn't last long when she overheard a group of ghosts talk about her present mother's impending death. The ghosts noticed her right away, but being able to talk to ghosts had its perks. She was even able to save her little sister. Rosentine and her sister would often visit the imperial palace, a place full of ghosts. But one day, she lost track of her sister. In a panic, she ran everywhere, only to find her possessed by an evil ghost. Rosentine was in dire need of help, but who could she turn to? Her sister could be accused of sorcery. As she ran around in panic, a ghost with a golden blonde hair offers her help. He promises he'll help her exorcise the evil ghost as long as she does a favor for him when he needs it in the future. He also announced his name was Ranon. Rosentine saved her sister that day, also learning from Ranon that she could order any ghost she encounters by simply calling their name. Since then, Rosentine made sure to avoid the imperial palace. Despite Ranon helping her, she still found him suspicious. The whole thing was suspicious. Lost in her thoughts, Rosentine was interrupted at the sudden announcement of the arrival of the second prince, Charteris Kartazen. The whole room stood in awe. Rosentine thought about the golden blessing he was given. Rumor had it that all the imperial family was given a blessing from the gods, a blessing that gave one child outstanding qualities, but it was also a curse, as anyone besides that child was doomed to die. At least, that's what the ghosts around her talked about. Rosentine tried ignoring the ghost talking to her, but she kept on talking, until she dropped a shocking revelation. Prince Charteris was about to die through a cup full of poison. It was an assassination plot. In panic, Rosentine asked Ranon to verify. Ranon gave her the ghost's name so she could command her for the truth. The ghost admitted it was the whole truth. She saw a man order a servant to tamper with the cups on the day of the prince's ceremony, but Rosentine thought, why was it her business if he died? A long time ago, Rosentine met the prince in a field of flowers. They were still kids, and Rosentine didn't know he was the prince. She just found him cute. They had a heartwarming moment. Rosentine shook his hand. Charteris gave her hand a kiss. It was a sweet memory. Suddenly, a strange voice spoke to her. It told her if she ignored this assassination, she would be a coward. Besides, if she saved him, she could ask him to protect her family for the rest of her life. One day, Rosentine awoke from a strange dream, one full of cries of help. She shook it off that morning since she had more important issues to think about. Ever since the day Rosentine had been investigating the prince's assassination plot, that night she was going to disguise herself as an old lady and offer the prince help. In the dark streets, Rosentine waited for the prince's carriage. When it arrived, she threw herself in front of it and to catch the prince's attention, she called him a strange title, a descendant of gold. In anger, the prince stepped out of the carriage. Rosentine instantly feigned innocence. She claimed by the will of God that she met them to tell of her prophetic dreams. First, she revealed she knew that there was a hidden letter behind a statue. Immediately, the prince reacted. Convinced the old lady was a sorcerer, the prince continued to listen. Rosentine revealed that death is upon the prince and she could help him avoid it, but she needed to find more clues. She told him of her abilities to see ghosts, but she is too frail as an old lady to stay by his side to investigate. Instead, she offered her granddaughter with the same abilities. Wanting no more attention, the prince accepted. As a result, Rosentine made a plan to become a new person, as the granddaughter of the sorcerer, to stay by the prince's side. Her servants promised to cover for her. Soon she met with the prince under her new identity. She called herself Roan. The prince stared at her in scrutiny. The prince observed that she was too young, a mere child. Roan snapped back and said the prince should enjoy the little youth he had left. The guard next to the prince stood in shock, but it makes sense. Roan is a person with no upbringing. So their meeting began. Roan and Charteris made a deal in exchange for the investigation of the prince's assassination plot. He was to protect her family. The prince agreed, shocking even his guard. But to Rosentine, she knew right away that the prince would agree. This was her plan all along. The prince and Roan wrote a contract with their agreement detailed. Both of their lives depended on this. Menacingly, Prince Charteris glared down at Roan. He told her, "You don't seem to fear me." His look was full of nothing but murderous intent. She knew this was a test, a threat to scare her away. She stood firm and told him once again she is to be trusted. She wasn't a spy. Thankfully, the guard finished writing their contract, but last minute, Roan insisted to add another clause to the contract. Roan will not serve His Highness at night. This made the prince laugh out loud.